basically you're faced with a situation where fish stocks have now become so overfished there's no more to be caught.
Every year it's been getting 10–15% less and less and less.
If you just go back to 1995, there are 120,000 cod landed in the North Sea. This year, scientists have actually recommended that cod fishing stops because there's hardly any left.
We're going to have a repeat of what happened in Canada back in 1992, where basically the whole resource collapsed. Super trawlers really are one of the worst aspects of the fishing industry, which is what we call fishing machismo, or in other words, might is right. People are talking about fishing nets that have the capacity to catch millennium domes, they're so big. You can surround an entire fish sole with your powerful fishing machine, process and have the fish on market the next day. These are the kinds of trends we see in the fishing industry that go completely in the face of any kind of idea of sustainability.
What one of those big industrial boats can catch in one day, it takes a boat of this size and 100 of them to catch in 1 year. As we're catching more fish during the months of February and March, the fish we're catching are also then full of eggs as well, ready for the spawning season. So not only are you catching today's fish, you're catching the future fish as well.
Another aspect of the whole fishing problem is the issue of subsidies. Someone did a calculation a few years ago and worked out that the entire revenue from the global fish catch is worth something like $80 billion a year. They then worked out what the costs of catching fish were, and they came up with a figure of something like $120 billion. So there's a difference of 40 billion between the two. So that 40 billion represents a net economic loss. So basically what is keeping the fishing industry fishing are subsidies. And this is a very important area to address, that subsidizing industrial fishing, which is inherently unsustainable, is one of the major issues today.
They quite simply said to the fishermen, okay, most of the fish breed in March, we'll pay you to stay in for March, and then the stocks would then slowly regenerate.
Overfishing doesn't just mean that there are fishermen in fault, it's a system failure.
I was speaking to one of our local lads yesterday. He came in from fishing about 60 miles out, and there were 4 or 5 nations all concentrating on the same fish shoal.
So in effect we've got to treat all these different countries with different cultures and different industry to support as the same country, and it's not working.
Since we've taken on the idea that the EC waters are just one big pool which everybody can help themselves in, it is in danger of spoiling the whole ecological system.
What we need to see happen is not just rely on quotas for the management of fish stocks, but we need, for instance, to put in place immediate closures if there are too many juvenile fish being caught. We need to stop fish being thrown overboard if they're slightly less quality than the better fish.
I think no-take zones are a best option at the moment, really, because fish will regenerate quite quickly if they're given the chance.
But I can remember the old fishermen saying that in the shipping lanes where fishing had been stopped for 4 to 5 years due to the convoys passing through and the U-boats, a danger to the movement of fishing vessels and so on, or any vessel that wasn't caught up in the war. And when they went back to sea on these fishing grounds after the war, they just could not believe what 5 years had done to the seabed and to the shoals of fish.